All right, welcome back. I wanted to focus on this video. I think it's important. This video has gone viral. I've read hundreds of comments in the comment sections where dog lovers are heaping praise onto this dog. I believe many of them are using this film as proof that dogs are acceptable creatures in society, to allow dogs to live with us as if those dogs are humans inside of our homes, unrestrained, allowed to wander from room to room around everybody who lives there. They're using this video to support the idea of the dog culture itself. And I am saying that this is mass delusion on the part of dog lovers. Now, I showed this in the most recent live stream. Okay, this has gone viral. Now, the boy goes out there with the dog. This is a family dog. And you can see across the street, you can see that other dog run down the fence. See that? See it? Look at how fast that dog got to that child. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time. Listen. Listen. This is not a story of a heroic dog. This footage supports my argument that these things need to be banned. It strongly supports my argument. You get a clear example of how these dog attacks actually go down. And I've been saying this ever since I've been on here, that these dogs are never provoked. Because dogs they look at kids the same way they would look at prey. They look at them as something to attack. You see, the dog went after the child, not the other dog. The other dog had to move, knock the child out the way, jump in front of the child. This wasn't a dog running after another dog. Okay? That dog ran after that boy. So what does that mean? This light golden dog that is said to have saved this boy, and it probably did. This dog already views the boy as a pack member. So this golden dog could just as easily see a child come out of his or her home down the street, dart across the lawn, and attack that child. This does not prove that dogs view children as something that they need to protect. No, not at all. What this reveals is that dogs view kids as something to attack, as a preferable target of violence. They lock in on children the same way any predator would, and even worse, because they attack them not because they're hungry. They just want to kill for sport, just like they do all of these livestock, farm animals, multiple days, 7 days a week, every week. But what this illustrates more than anything is how attractive children look in the eyes of dogs. Attractive in regard to attacking them. That dog did not dart after the other dog. It went after the easiest target, something that it knew it could bully around, torture, and kill. Now, this is why nobody should own dogs. Let's say this person right here, the owner of this dog, let's say he doesn't have kids. And there you go. There's an example of why nobody should be in possession of these things. There's no way to responsibly own them. Now, look at the owner. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let's go full screen. Look at the owner right here. He watches his dog run right past him off leash, and he allows it to happen. Look at him. He's right here. You see that? And he's just standing there in one spot like a flipping goofball. He saw that dog run right past him, and he decided to stand there. Oh, I've trained it well enough. He's properly trained. But when that dog saw that child, its instincts kicked in. Something you can't train out of dogs. That was a nightmare. That was a nightmare of a near miss. Again, this golden dog viewed the child as a pack member. Keep in mind, this golden dog is still a threat to this child. As long as that dog lives inside of that home, it's a threat to that child. Because dogs will challenge other pack members. And they specifically challenge the pack members that are the weakest. That's the whole idea. Move up in rank by knocking a few dogs out of your way. You would obviously start with the weakest. And you never know when it'll happen. That's the risk that needs to be avoided. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? This is not impressive to me. This doesn't impress me at all. In fact, like I said, I'd gladly use this footage in court, arguing that these things should be banned. No, I don't know what dog lovers are looking at. This is detrimental to the dog lover culture. Shows you how fast it happens, how much land gets covered in a very short period of time. It shows you that the dog was not provoked. Was not provoked. None of them are provoked. But yet, when they look at the total number of children attacked by dogs, the only thing they want to talk about is what the kids do to provoke those dogs. And we've never seen it. We've never seen a child provoke a dog and never even heard about it, never even read about it in any of the articles. So it's important that I focus on this footage because of how viral it has gone. I am not impressed. This video does not mean that this golden dog still does not need to be removed from this home. No, you still need to get this dog out of that home. And the presence of that dog inside that home is still, based on our law, child endangerment. Based on our law. So what changes? Nothing changes. Some dog lovers view this as a moral victory for dog lovers. No, it's not. Nothing changes. That dog is still a threat to that child, and that dog's still a threat to other people's children. Just like that child was almost attacked, that golden dog could attack someone else's child just like that. If this golden dog views that boy as a pack member, that means it would view someone else's child as a member of a different pack. It wouldn't see a child say, oh, children need to be protected. So, yeah, that does not work, dog lovers. And the footage up close and in slow motion is pretty graphic. You can understand why it went viral. That's how the attacks happen. That's how they happen. These kids don't do nothing to these dogs. And I mean never. Never. People talking about give the dog a medal. The dog is a hero. That's not what this film is telling us. This is telling us that these things have no place in society. No matter who it is, no matter if you have kids in your home or not. This was a child. This child was not the offspring of the owner of this dog. That's irrelevant. And it's not just kids. I don't want no dog darting across the street attacking me like this. But I'm much more equipped to protect myself. Should still be illegal because of my safety being violated, but I'm better able to protect myself. So where are the lawyers? Where are the people who claim to be about justice and righteousness? Where are they at? They're silent because it's taboo to speak against the presence of dogs, to even suggest that dogs should not be in our society. It's like heresy. They view it as like a sin. When you get examples left and right, literally every day, you get reasons why they should be banned. Even if it's just laying eyes on your own personal dog. Listen, dog lovers, I'm well aware that some dogs go their entire life without ever mutilating the children in its home or anybody else's children. I'm well aware that there are some dogs like that live a life like that. My point is that it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. The dogs that never attack anyone, they shouldn't be banned because of those dogs' behavior. They should be banned because of the other dogs' behavior. You know, the dogs that actually do attack. Why ban those dogs? Why ban all dogs because of the actions of some is because those dogs that attack come from all different types of owners. They come from people who are the alpha, who use the alpha approach, and those who raise it with positive reinforcement only, hugs and kisses. And they all end up attacking without ever having shown aggression before in their life. So there's no way to know whether or not a dog will attack in the future. It's impossible to know. You can't point towards any amount of training. Even dog trainers, their dogs have attacked other people and other people's dogs. This is not rocket science. You all know this. I'm not telling you something you didn't already know. You're just trying not to pay attention to the obvious. You know full well why these things need to be banned and that they need to be banned. Let's not play dumb. Now, I've been doing a lot of reading today. I mean, really all week. And there is a couple articles that I want to touch on here real quick. Y'all remember this article I shared a while ago? Was it this one? No, it was this one. Pediatrician said pit bulls do not belong in homes with children. Pediatrician. This is one medical person out of many who said this. They don't. So I'm talking about dogs in general. Some dog lovers, you disagree with me. Well, you can't disagree with me when it comes to pit bulls. Pit bulls, at the very least, need to be banned all across the country, all across the planet. All bully breeds. All bully breeds. There's no denying that. Their threat, their level of threat is greater significantly. Even though all large vicious dogs should be banned. It's almost irresponsible to get rid of, bully breeds and not German Shepherds, Great Danes. That's irresponsible. But when you deal with statistics, bully breeds stick out like a sore thumb. There's no way to defend bully breeds in society. No way at all. This was another media outlet, Children's MD. Dogs and babies don't mix. Oh man, I don't know how many of y'all have read this article. It surfaced in 2012, right? 10 years ago. This is one of the craziest articles I've ever read in my life. Or was it this one? Yeah. Check this out. Oh, this is deep. This was a doctor, let me see, or a nurse or something. Said, I recently cared for a 9-month-old baby girl. Came to our emergency room with a dog bite. Dog ripped her face and scalp into pieces. She said, as I entered the room, her father said it wasn't the dog's fault. Just volunteered that information. It wasn't the dog's fault. People, that's a ritual. That is a cult ritual. After each sacrifice, this is what they are expected to say. Their so-called behaviorists and experts hammer this into their psyche. It's never the dog's fault. This could only happen with a cult that has a deity, where this creature inflicts bodily harm onto your child and you say it wasn't the creature's fault. That's Satanism level stuff. It most truly is. That's demonic. Nobody in their right mind does that. You let a dog attack any other living organism's offspring, they're going to attack that dog. Could you imagine any other animal doing that? Oh, it wasn't the dog's fault. Man, please. On top of that, these are literally predators. They may be mutants, but they're predators. They have the operation, they function like predators. And you bring them to your young? That's crazy itself. But when you know, this is what really tells you the people are possessed by a doctrine, by an occult-like doctrine. When after this creature draws blood, makes a blood sacrifice, your child, you try to absolve, it was not the dog's fault. That is insanity. He went on to explain how this crawling infant had provoked the dog. Y'all see that? She said that that's what he said. He went on to explain how this infant provoked the dog. An infant, mind you, that couldn't even walk yet. Still crawling. He said the infant provoked the dog. And can you believe that they're so-called professionals? They are the ones who hammer this into their heads. This is the doctrine of a sacrificial cult. This is nothing but a child sacrificial cult doctrine. A crawling baby provoked a dog, so it wasn't the dog's fault. She said, I spent a long time talking to this nervous father and crying mother about dog bite prevention. Reported the situation to the police. She said she went on to talk about how other medical professionals had similar crazy stories. Other plastic surgeons. This one said that he was sewing up an infant's face who had been attacked, and a while later, the baby ended up dead. Okay? Or look at this. He sewed up one woman's dog bite to the face, only to read in the newspaper that she had been killed by that same dog a few months later. How about that? And she talks about how there's a denial. That what makes these stories so amazing is the consistent denial from dog owners that man's best friend could be an enormous risk. Denial. That's a cult mentality, where you have to deny something. It's part of the sacrifice. Wow. But then she goes on, I don't know if this website, to put this section in there, which is counterproductive. Prevent dog bites. Never put an infant or toddler on the floor with a dog. Yeah, don't even be on the same floor as a dog. What does that sound like? No, it sounds like you shouldn't have it in the home at all. Can't even be on the same floor with the thing. That sounds pretty dangerous to me. Me being on the floor is a threat. I'm at a greater risk of being attacked just because I'm on the floor. The actual earth that we stand on is a danger zone. Well, that sounds like something's in the home that shouldn't be there. Something's in the home that should not be. Does that make sense? Am I being reasonable? Is that unreasonable? Shout out to everybody. There's a lot of people in here. What are y'all doing at home? People calling off work? Y'all calling off class today? What's going on? Yeah, hey, maybe it's just me. But really, that's what this article, I think, goes on to point out. That, hey, these things are just a safety hazard in general. Said, when a dog bites a crawling baby or a toddler, whose fault is it? Dog owners are quick to say it wasn't the dog's fault, as evidenced by my stories above. And they're right. It wasn't the dog's fault. The dog was being a dog, and the toddler was being a toddler. Right. Toddler was being helpless and harmless, and the dog was being a vicious killer. That's the dog's nature. That's why they should be banned. Because dogs do what dogs do. That makes sense? Can we come out of the twilight zone, man? I'm starting out to... It's getting more difficult to realize the matrix, or differentiate the matrix from the real world. It's like, talking to a brick wall. When you think you're explaining something, it should be crystal clear. People still just don't get it. They're just brainwashed. They're that brainwashed. Was it the owner's fault for not controlling their dog, or the parent's fault for not supervising the child? No. Whoever brought the dog around thinking that they could control it at all times, that's the problem. Nobody can control these things at all times. Simple as that. A lot of this, they're just making it more complicated than what it really is. As a pediatrician, it's my best professional opinion that dogs and young children just don't mix. There you go. And I think parents have a responsibility to keep their young children away from dogs. That's what I was trying to get out of her. There you go. Another medical professional agrees with me. The crazy guy. The guy who hates dogs. Man, what a lunatic. Who would agree with that guy? Well, there's doctors, nurses, pediatricians. They're everywhere saying the same things that I'm saying. And this is not just an option. This is actually built into the law. It's built into the endangerment laws already. They simply don't apply the law to the dogs. That's why the dogs just go on to kill, mutilate. Non-stop. I can't even keep up with it. So, sacrificial cult rituals built into the laws. How about that? Yeah. And they think I'm the one with the problem for pointing all of this out. Now, I forgot to deal with this. I think this surfaced last month during Pit Bull Awareness Month. I think I forgot this. Now, some of you, maybe I didn't, but this is so tired. You can clearly see they are at the end of the road. This is the end of their propaganda campaign. Another one of those articles, 7 myths about pit bulls and why you shouldn't buy into them. These types of articles sound a lot weaker today than they did 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Myth number 1. Pit bulls are more dangerous than other dogs. People, there's no reason. All they do is refer to the temperament test and say pit bulls are some of the most well-behaved. They do. This is the same play every single time. Here's the temperament test. This is the dog breed. This is how many was tested. This is how many passed. This is how many failed. And this is the passing percentage rate. And they have here the Pit Bull Terrier, Staffordshire Terrier, Tunnel Terrier. All these terriers, these are the bully breeds. Okay, you got 4 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. American Hairless Terrier. I never even heard of that. But they say that it has an 87% passing rate and 85.5% for the American Staffordshire Terrier. And then it's one of the best. You can see some dogs have 100% passing rate. Other dogs have passing rates similar to the bully breeds, and some are slightly less than the bully breeds, but they're all relatively the same. And what makes this such a ridiculous argument is, what is the condition of the victim after they're attacked by the bully breeds compared to their condition on average when they're attacked by all other breeds? That's where your difference comes into. Some of you remember, often I refer to the doctor who said that dog attack victims hospitalized 7 days or more, all of them were attacked by a pit bull. Well, if you remove pit bulls, don't you know you remove all of those patients? Think of how different the hospitals look once pit bulls are gone. They will no longer have people in there hospitalized 7 days or more because they've been ripped to shreds. This was just in that hospital. It would be rare. Exceptions, not the rule. With pit bulls in society, it's the rule that people are going to be in hospitals all across the country, hospitalized for 5, 7 days, and even longer. In the thousands. Remove pit bulls, you remove all of those badly injured patients. That's the difference between bully breeds and other breeds. And it doesn't matter with these goofy tests. And I've been told that they use a different type of test when they test the bully breeds. Here you go. Same old song. Myth. They don't have locking jaws. Nonsense. Myth. Pit bulls eventually turn on their owners. That's not a myth. You can literally look up hundreds of stories right now at the click of a mouse. That's not a myth. It's not just pit bulls. Dogs in general will turn on their owners. We're not saying that every single pit bull on the planet is going to do that. So just because you find some pit bulls that haven't attacked their owners yet, that don't prove nothing. We're constantly being proved right because people are constantly being attacked by their own dog. So I don't have to argue anything. It's the pit bull lovers. They're the ones who are forced to substantiate this statement. Does that make sense? You have to prove that. Prove that they don't turn on their owners, man. What is you talking about? What are these people talking about? All they're going to do is talk about some people who haven't been attacked by their pit bull. That's all they're going to do. And going to ignore the owners who were attacked by their pit bull. And when people are attacked by their own dog, it's usually a pit bull. Yeah, you can look that up too. Look, myth number 4. Pit bulls cannot be trusted around children. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Some 65% of children killed by dogs is by a pit bull, who make up what, 6% of the dog population? Let's not go there. These sad, tired, weak, goofy arguments. And this come out in 2020. So this is the latest edition of their rhetoric. Sounding primitive like this. It's not safe to adopt an adult pit bull. Really? As many stories as we have of people who were attacked by a shelter pit bull? Stop it. Stop it. This is pathetic, people. I'm telling you, even kids who follow this channel, they will be well equipped to refute this rhetoric, this pit bull rhetoric, but just with their own memory. That's how simple this is. Boy, they come out with the goofiest arguments. That's what I'm telling you. When we have our own rallies and conventions and education presentations or whatever, these people are not going to try to refute anything. They're not. You might get some of them who are crazy make a few threats, but that's just about it. They know that they don't have an argument. They know that the facts, all of the facts, speak in favor of these things needing to be banned in all states. It really is that simple. But I just had to speak on this issue with this video where dog lovers are throwing a party over this German Shepherd. No. This tells you that these attacks are unprovoked. It shows you how quick it happens. It shows you that supervision is worthless. You got these adults here in this home, adults over here, and you all say that as long as there's adult supervision, it's okay. No. No. You got wild predators, creatures that manipulate restraints and barriers. It's irresponsible to be in possession of them. Based on the law, it's actually a crime. Right? Shout out to everybody who was able to join me for this brief live stream. And I hope to see you back here on the next as we continue with this crusade.